Hi, everybody. Would you like to learn 22 ways to improve your clairvoyance? It's one of those things that I get asked a lot. How do I become better at my clairvoyance? Which is that inner seeing, the inner wisdom, that intuitive eye, that mind's eye, but also you can be objective and subjective. Subjective meaning within the mind, objective meaning you see it out with your eyes open, you see it in the room, whatever it is. So let's talk about it. I'm so glad you guys are here. I do have 22 ways, so let's just get started. There is no particular order, but I will say, follow along, and at the very end, we'll have a little guided meditation, not too long, about 5 or 10 minutes, a guided meditation just for that clairvoyance skill. And it is one of those, again, like I said, that everybody seems to want this skill. They feel like this is psychic. Although, to tell you the truth, I believe that clairaudience, that hearing, is very psychic as well. And most of us are seeing, feeling, or seeing and know. We know and we feel. Most of us can identify with that. But then when you can work with all of them to make them better. Okay, so as we get started, first thing I want to say, let's test it first. How do you test it? Well, one way, I take my glasses off, one way to test it is with a pendulum. You can test any chakra this way. This doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to be very clairvoyant if I have very much of a spinning pendulum, but what it does mean is that chakra is clear, okay? So it's a good thing to test. Now, for me, you can test each chakra, you can test your crown. My hand is spinning, that's not really, my crown isn't really that, I wish. But some of these you have to look in the mirror when you're doing it. And when you do the root chakra, you want to test just kind of below down there. It's hard to get right in between the legs when you're testing, but you can also just, with the intention, you're testing the root chakra and you place it pretty close to that root chakra. But let's just test. I'm going to hold the pendulum. You hold it as close or as still as you can. And I'm going to try not to move. I have no idea where I am, but I can see now. If you look at it, also try not to look at it. I'm just going to look at the video. It's not moving a lot, is it? Interesting. Okay, there it goes. Oh, so when I looked at it, it made it go more. That's very interesting. But I do see it's moving. That's good. It's actually, from my perspective, going pretty good. All right, so that's okay. If it was very still, I can show what we can do. If it is very still, or if you feel like in energy medicine, we have vortexes. And one of the things, you can get a spinning magnet, like one of those Radio Shack magnets, the ring magnet. You can do that. That's kind of strong. I would avoid it if you can. But you can also use this kind of a crystal. It's a glass crystal. This is a big one. You can use a 1/2-inch one. This is really like too much. By the way, do you like my angel in the angel on my shoulder here watching over you? Okay, so now, if I felt like I had a vortex block here, I would spin this. It's on a string. You can do it on dental floss, or just, I have regular thread, and I'm spinning it, but I'm going to go forward or out and in. So, okay, out. I'm spinning it at the same time, about 8 inches out. This helps any vortexes. Okay, to open up vortexes. So I'm spinning. This is a little heavy. Normally you don't have that much trouble, hopefully, because it's this is a little too heavy. So that's one thing you can do, is you can spin a crystal over it, or a magnet. Same thing. You don't want to, especially the magnet. You want to be careful with magnets on your skin. It can kind of wipe you out as well. So a limited amount on the magnets. Okay. Stretch the skin. So let's stretch. And then when I say the skin, it's with the intention of opening up that third eye. So you're putting your fingers in the middle and you're opening. First of all, that pineal gland is one of the glands related to the third eye. And we'll talk about that. So you just stretch it in every which way, but open that way, stretching up, down, and up like X's, and around as much as you can. Okay. So that's another thing. Ooh, that feels good, actually. Ooh. Okay, so that's 2, spinning the crystal and stretching it. Now, pineal gland. You can look on the internet. There's a lot of stuff about the pineal gland and the third eye. And, the pineal gland is related to the diurnal nocturnal cycles. And it's, it has the melatonin in it. So be cautious about how much melatonin you take. If you do take a lot of melatonin, there's also a thing about fluoride. If you overdo the fluoride, I don't worry about the fluoride, but I know some people are perhaps really monitoring their fluoride just for that reason, because it can calcify. They say it can calcify the pineal gland. I've never done anything special with the fluoride for me. You can also drink reverse osmosis water. Now, I have heard amazing things about that that can really change your whole body. And that reminds me, that's another way to help open your chakras. So we just talked about 3. Now we're talking about number 4, drinking water. Now, the reason drinking water helps is because water affects, our bodies are electromagnetic energy. Water affects that, and it carries electromagnetic energy. So you want to keep yourself hydrated. Okay. All right. Now, I also recommend on number 5 here, the daily energy routine. The daily energy routine, I'm going to put a link below. I've done about 3 of these in the last couple of years. And so I'm just going to put a link to it. To me, that's keeping your energies balanced. And I have found personally, that's been more important for me than meditation. So the daily energy routine, and it balances your energies. And again, I've done videos on that. Okay, that's it. And by the way, that's from Donna Eden. I learned that from Donna Eden, she's an amazing energy medicine teacher. All right, meditation. Now, you can just do a general meditation, because when you do a meditation, you are getting to know your senses, all of them, all of your clairs. You get to know what's you, what's not you. And when you sit in the quiet, you avoid external noise. Especially, I want to say, just sitting in the quiet is good, because then you can focus on you and focus on who you are. And then when you have something else coming in, like say it's a color or a vision or something you're seeing, you get to know that it's something different besides you. I hope that makes sense. But it's really important to have that quiet time. Okay, now clairtangency. Now I'm going to say you could combine any clair with the clairvoyant. But for number 6, I'm going to say clairtangency. So when I mean clairtangency, let's just say you've got a deck of cards. And you're going to pull out a card. And I mean, I'm looked at it, but if I didn't look at it, I could hold it in my hands. The tangency, right? It's a clairtangency. I can combine what my hands feel and see with my third eye and see if I can feel it and see it at the same time. Now, you could even do this. You could put your card over your third eye. You could put it over your heart. See if you can see the card. Okay, that's clear. Well, you could do that with all the cards. And I heard of one lady who she did the whole deck of cards. She got to be so good, she could do pretty much maybe get 2 wrong. That's pretty amazing. You got to get the color, and then of course the number, the color, and then or the shape and the number. There's only four shapes. It's red or black, spades or diamonds or hearts or clubs. And then get the number. So I was practicing. I haven't done that really too much, but I was practicing right before this video. And what I noticed is that I would, instead of the card might have been a 7 of spades, but I was getting 7 of hearts. So I don't know. I did that actually quite a lot of them. So I don't know, but practice. I think that's practice. It's something that I'm going to try to do a little bit for myself. Okay. You can also combine number 8 would be using any clair to see. So for instance, this morning, I was smelling coffee. And this is not in my house. The coffee came from who knows where it came from. But whenever I smell coffee, I feel like it's my grandfather because he always fixed coffee in the morning. And I lived with him for a number of years. And that was his deal. You know, every morning he made the coffee. And it was, you know, the ritual that he and my grandmother had. So I know when I smell coffee, I know my grandfather's around me. So I smelled the coffee. And then I said, okay, now I'm going to see my grandfather. So what I did was I purposely, with intention, smelled, I got that whiff of coffee, and then I moved my inner mind to seeing my grandfather. And after I did that, I smelled my dog that's in spirit named Lilia. I smelled Lilia, and they often come together. Then I moved into my third eye in my mind, and I saw Lilia. So you could do that with any clear. You could smell it, you could taste it. Let's just say you're tasting chocolate. Now you can imagine, what does that look like in your mind's eye? Does it look like chocolate cake? Does it look like Godiva chocolate? What does that look like to you? You could also do that with feeling, and most of us will feel and know, like I said. But if you feel something, let's just say I'm feeling an ocean breeze, you know. Okay, let's say I'm feeling the ocean breeze, and that might remind me of my grandmother, by the way. Okay, I'm going to feel that, but I'm going to see, then I move it into my sight, and I'm going to see the ocean. All right, now let's just say I'm going to hear, let's say I'm going to hear my mom come in and say, no, don't do that. No, don't, or something like that. Okay. So let's just say I hear her voice. Now, when I say, okay, I want to see something, and I just say that to myself, what am I going to see? Now, I saw a pink rose, which reminds me of my mom. All right. So that's a good way. You can practice that. So in other words, move any clair that's coming and tell yourself you're going to see it. And it may not be exactly what you think it's going to be. Like my mom came in as a pink rose. Okay. Or the coffee comes in as my grandfather. So it may or may not work that way for you, but see how that goes. You want to practice putting them together. All right. Now let's go to number 9. I'm going to say movement. This to help move energy in all of your chakras, but your third eye especially, because when you move, you're stretching everything, the chakras, the meridians, the whole energy body. So you can dance, do yoga, walk. Again, you can got this kind of a stretch too, but figure 8 also around your third eye. I didn't say that. So any kind of movement will help open up your energy field. All right, that reminds me, number 10, increase your vibration. How do you do that? Well, you think of something joyful. You think of something you love. You think of your animals, your children, your flower, your garden. Think of things like that that make you feel good. Okay, that will raise your vibration. When your vibration is up, you're more likely to have your system open, your clairvoyance, and actually all your clairs open. All right, guided meditation, number 11, guided meditation with visualization. So if you have, you can find all kinds of guided meditations on YouTube and follow along. As long as it could be like a journey, like Danny Shea, he'll do his journeys, and those are great for opening your third eye. Guided meditation down a forest path, and now you're looking in the meadow, and then you're seeing the sun and the water, that kind of a thing. Practice in your mind seeing it. Okay. Now, we talked about using the cards blindfolded. Yeah, well, okay. Number 11. No, yeah, going down memory lane in your mind. So let's just say you can imagine moving into your childhood bedroom. And you can imagine it now, not just how it feels, but what do you see? Imagine walking in the door. What are you looking at? What are the colors? What's on the walls? What's in the closet? What's in the drawer? All those things move that way. and see if you can see it in your mind's eye. Okay. And also, by the way, on that, make sure it's a bond memory to raise your vibration. All right. Number 13. Did I skip one? I don't know. We're at 13, I think. Okay. Color meditation. And this is something that I used to do all the time. That was my standard for meditating. I did it, I can't even tell you. I think it was 15 to 20 years, a long time. So, of course, you think of the colors of the chakras, the red, orange, yellow, blue, green, turquoise, indigo, violet, white, gold. So you can just go through the colors of your chakras, and you can go up and down. You can go backwards and you can go forward, go from chakra 1 to chakra 7, and whatever you think the root chakra, the earth star chakra is, and the soul star chakra is. So those, do that. But what I did when I did it a couple ways. I would do it sitting, and I would count with each breath, and I would do 12 breaths for each chakra. So, and I would say, I am a being of red fire. And then I would just imagine, first of all, I'd imagine the red fire all around me. And then I'd count 12 times for 12 breaths. And as I was counting, I would say, Om Harim Klim. It's like clearing. So Om Harim, H-R-I-M, and then Klim, C-L-I-M. Om Harim Klim. Now, and I would count Om Harim Klim, Om Harim Klim 12 times, because I would lose, if I didn't count on my fingers when I was with my breath, I would not know where I was. And then 11, 12. So, and I did that through each one. I am a being of orange fire. See the orange? And then Om Harim Klim, Om Harim Klim, Om. Okay. Now, if you don't want to say Om Harim Klim every time, you can say, I am a being of orange fire, or I am a being of orange, or whatever, orange light. Okay. So I love that because it really does stimulate the colors, and it stimulates the inner vision. All righty, we're on number 14. Okay, now look at an object in your room. Okay, I've got something here. I've got an elephant. All right, I'm looking at the elephant. I'm going to put it in my mind. Excuse me. You can look at a color, you can pick up anything, a light, a color, you can look outside, pick up a flower. So just, I have some beautiful yellow esperanza in my yard where the butterflies, there's the black and blue butterflies that come lately. So I'm actually just seeing the black and blue butterflies on the esperanza in my mind's eye. As I said it, I'm creating that in my mind's eye. And it's even being there, I see the butterflies even moving as I'm saying it too. So that's very nice. Okay, so just practice that. Then choose another object. It could be, I've got a piece of sage over there. Okay, I'm going to put that sage in my mind's eye. And as I even have that sage, I must be, vivid imagination here, because I see an Indian lady with the sage and she's doing this. All right. Now, we can also where are we? Number 15, using the essential oils with a crystal. Now, you can do just the crystal. This is selenite, a selenite wand, and this is different than that spinning. This is just to clear the chakra. It's different than this is, when I was doing this, I'm clearing the vortex that goes in and out of the third eye. That would be with any chakra, by the way. Now, a selenite wand is just going to clear that chakra. It's not really it's not changing the vortexes. Okay, so it's just clearing. You can do this with anything. But if you combine it with a clary sage, for instance, maybe you just put it right there. Or a lemon is even great. I tell you what, maybe even better, because lemon on any chakra, instant clearing. It's great, really great, because we know lemon is a cleanser. So by putting it on a drop, or even just holding this over the chakra. Imagine you've got a drop of the essential oil and you're clearing it at the same time. You could also clear it with your hands, your left hand. I've got a ring on, by the way. I've had this ring for 40 years. I've hardly ever worn, I think I've worn it 10 times in my life. I decided, hey, now I'm in my 60s, I might as well. Okay, so now so I'm just gonna, with my left hand, I go, see if I'm going this way, I'm gonna go counterclockwise first to clear. My right hand, I'm going to go clockwise and I'm infusing it with whatever color or energy I want. All right. Now, where are we? Okay. Now you can also, number 16, meditate with a crystal in your hand. You could also meditate, I suppose, with a crystal over your third eye. This is amethyst. Is this beautiful, you guys? Oh my gosh. So you could do that. You could hold it. You can hold it over your third eye. You can hold it in your hand. I would probably hold it in my left hand because this is my receiving hand. And maybe hold the selenite wand in the other, and that way you're kind of balanced. The selenite is a very clearing energy. All right, that's another thing you could do. Anytime you meditate, you just hold the crystal. Or you could make a crystal grid around your body too. You can use crystals for it, for opening your third eye. Number 17. Visualize heavens coming down. So the heavenly light, the heavenly whatever, the starlight, the sunlight, visualize, because actually, oh, I've got so many chills. Oh, that's something else. Just thought of something else. When you allow that light, you just pull it in, you open it, you imagine, because our minds are powerful. We can open this crown. As we open the crown, we allow the light in through our pineal and then allow it to go all the way down the body. Okay, so you do that, and then you can also, oh my gosh, what was I going to say about, there's something else on this light. Oh yes, in the mornings when I do my daily energy routine at the park, I look at the sunrise, and just for, I mean, it doesn't hurt my eyes. It's just coming up, so it's not to the point where it's going to damage your eyes. But if you look at it, that according to wise teachers, I'd say Master Yeshua, that will help open up that pineal and that third eye. Okay, I didn't have that written down, but okay, now you can also, number 18, visualize the light from the earth, the center of the earth, coming up from the crystalline grid of the earth up into the soles of your feet, up your legs and into your heart. So and repeat it about at least 3 times. So you're using your mind to move energy. And this helps that clairvoyant skill. You're practicing seeing things in your mind. I remember years ago when I was I used to lead meditations at the Unity Church in Portland, Oregon. And I would practice my meditations ahead of time. And one time I was practicing this, moving the light up from the center of the earth up my feet. And I practiced it quite a bit, moving it up, and all of a sudden it was so palpable. I could actually feel it in my legs, the energy coming up. I mean, it felt like a warmth and pressure up my legs as I was getting better at it. It's like, whoa, so I know that works. All right, now number 19. Okay, did I say this already? Drink a lot of water. I think I did say that. Drink water to help move these electromagnetic energy in your body. Okay, number 20. Okay, let's do this. So this is kind of fun. So if you can imagine, you've got an elephant in your mind. Okay, you got this little elephant. You see the elephant. He's got these are. Oh, I met these Jokia and May Perm. They live in Thailand at an elephant nature park. Anyway, imagine the elephants, or you could imagine a giraffe, you could imagine a doggy, whatever, in your mind's eye. Okay, and with that trunk, or maybe their nose, or maybe their paws, or you could imagine even a guide holding a rose inside your mind's eye. And from within your mind, you can see them first, and then you can let their trunk or their paws or their head make a little room from the inside moving out. Okay, they're going from the inside of the mind, they're scratching at the back of the third eye on the inside, and then they move their way out, opening that space and coming on out. So, and when you do that, I like right now I feel it warming up. It has heated up. So you can just do that. And you can also, when you see the elephant and you're moving the elephant out, you can see in your mind's eye with your eyes closed, can it go a few inches out? And maybe it goes out across the room. This is still within your mind's eye. Could you even see it objectively? If you open your eyes a little bit to the corner of the room, can you maybe see the elephant over there? All right. Now let's Oh, partner practice. This is one of those things that my mom taught me when I was a little girl, about 8 or 9 years old, when she was taking her psychic development classes in Greenwich Village when we lived in New Jersey. Okay, so what she actually did this with my dad mostly, but they would say, okay, what color am I thinking? Okay, and they would send the color to each other so that you got the color in your mind, and then you send it and you see if your receiver will receive the right color. Now, if you don't get it right, that's okay. Just keep trying. It's practice. And same thing you could do with numbers. And I would just say 1 to 10, because if you go to a 0 to 100, that's just too many. Then you have a 99% chance of being wrong. So let's do something that you could handle, like between 1 and 10. All right, number or a color, or it could be an animal as well. You could limit it to domestic animals or something like that, farm animals. Okay, so that's another thing. Okay, now the last one would be, tell your guides and angels you can do it and you want their help. You ask them to help you. You want help, and can you do it? All right, and you can do it. You tell yourself, I can do it. I can do it. I can see clairvoyantly. I can improve my clairvoyant vision. So there, and then I would just practice, practice, practice. Remember, some of these are going to call to you, some of these aren't. Some of these you're going to be good at, some not. It's okay, it doesn't matter. I know I'm not good at the cards, but seeing the cards very well. I know that. So, but I haven't practiced it very much. So that's something for fun you guys can do. I hope you will. Now let's see what we're doing on time here. Okay, let's come together. We're just like a 10-minute meditation. And we're sit comfortably if you want. If you have a crystal, if you have 2 crystals, hold your crystals in your hand. Okay, and I would take your glasses off. You want to be comfortable as possible. And with any meditation, I like to start with the breath. I take 3 deep breaths, because this breathing, one, it helps center yourself. It brings your power into your power, that solar plexus power, right into the belly. And then move your breath from your belly into your heart. And pick any color you like. Breathe that color right into your heart. See, feel, know how your heart is right now, this very moment. And you want to calm the nervous system. So you just noticed how everything is now, just breathing in peace and calm. Because when we are wanting to learn or improve something in our life or take advantage of a new vibration, new activation, the more calm you can be, the more you will find that you are able to move into the change of where you want to go. And as I say that, you can imagine you and I now together. Two light beings coming together, your light and my light. And with my guides and angels, the angel on my shoulder who's helping you, you are handed the gift of a keener sense of clairvoyance in your hand now from the angels. It may be something you see or don't see, it doesn't matter. Or you maybe feel it in your heart. You're handed the gift of clairvoyance. And I would like you to imagine with me a lotus flower. See in your mind's eye the image of a lotus. And if you don't see it, feel it, know it, however you can sense it, you may taste it or smell it or even hear it, but however you get it, pretend, if you can, that you can see it. It doesn't have to be real clear, just know it's there. And it's in your mind's eye. And now moving that lotus to between your eyebrows. It could be on the inside or the outside, but right in between the eyebrows. I'd like you to imagine the lotus now opening, growing, and becoming brighter and full of color. And allow that lotus to be all it can be right now for you. And although this lotus is on your third eye between the brows, you can imagine yourself moving into the lotus, becoming one with the lotus. You are all encased with the lotus now. You're human, your soul, like a lotus. And from the bottom of the lotus, now it goes down to the earth. Imagine the stem reaching down, down, down to the earth. And now it moves that energy. Let's say it was green. You're just going to move that green energy up, 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 up through all the beds of the earth, the layers and the layers. All the way up. And now we're going to take that green energy and move it to the purple. Let me just change it in your mind's eye to purple. And it's going to rise up from your heart to the stars. All the way up. Rushing up and over you now, down, and rising back up again. So it goes above your head and then back down like a waterfall, and then back up through your feet, up, and then flowing down, and then rising up and flowing down. And landing now back into that oneness with the lotus, oneness with the amethyst. And in here we ask our angels and guides, our teachers of the spirit world, the galactic beings, and all of our ancestors who have come before us and after us, that our intention now is to open up our third eye even more, to let this happen gracefully and easily and with confidence and naturalness, to naturally open wide. And as this third eye opens, it opens the doors to all of our clairs as well. And all of our clairs open the door to our third eye. They work together in harmony and integration. And you may place your hands on your heart, perhaps and on your third eye as well, holding these beautiful energies right there. And coming back into your everyday awareness. And so it is. Namaste, you all. Blessings. See you next time. Bye.